Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this week's Team Kentucky Update. We'll start today where we normally start, with our red-hot Kentucky economy that, even with the headwinds from the federal government, continues to grow. Already in 2026, we're seeing new investments and new jobs as companies are making our Commonwealth their new Kentucky home, where speed to market is fast, business costs are low, and our workforce is second to none. Since I've taken office, we've announced more than 1,300 private sector new location or expansion projects. These projects total over $45 billion in announced investments, creating 68,000 good jobs. And the momentum is leading to exciting updates across Kentucky. This morning, the Kentucky Economic Development Finance Authority had its first meeting of the new year, with 8 new projects approved for state incentives that would bring in $569.8 million in new investment to Kentucky and create 448 full-time jobs for Kentuckians. This is the second best January for economic development announcements in the history of Kentucky. Among these approvals were Rush Group Limited, which is looking at a $71.5 million investment in Oldham County that would create 250 new jobs. Steris Corporation, a $12.8 million investment that would create 25 full-time jobs in Shelby County. Nada Studios, a $28.8 million investment in Jefferson County. Melco HVAC, a $167.2 million investment in Mason County. Donaldson Machine, a $1.6 million investment and 10 new full-time jobs in Lincoln County. Corning, a $268 million investment, 60 full-time jobs in Mercer County. And Vibon Specialty Adhesives, a $14.1 million investment and 78 full-time jobs in Simpson County. And this morning, we announced an exciting new project within the state's manufacturing sector. James Composites, a producer of fiberglass barge covers, will be investing $5.8 million in Marshall County to establish its first operation in the Commonwealth, creating 25 quality full-time jobs. This family-owned company provides several services to the inland river industry. They include towboat and barge repair, new construction and painting of towboats, barges, and dry docks, groceries, supplies, and fueling, and towing, chartering, harbor, and fleet services. The 25 quality jobs the project will create means an opportunity to improve the lives of 25 Kentucky families. I want to thank the company's leadership for their trust in this great state, and we want to welcome them to their new Kentucky home. Yesterday, I joined an iconic company that has a long history in the Commonwealth to announce a great new project in Louisville. GE Appliances is establishing the company's first ever in-house water filter manufacturing operation at its Appliance Park headquarters. The operation is another major project stemming from GE Appliances' ongoing $3 billion new investment in American manufacturing that it's going to make over the next 5 years. The new line created 30 new jobs with the potential to expand further with additional water filter manufacturing lines. I want to congratulate the team at GE Appliances on this major step towards what will be their first ever water filtration manufacturing operation. This project coming to Kentucky reflects our leadership in manufacturing and our strong and skilled workforce. For those that want to be real proud of Kentucky, you ought to listen to the speech that GE Appliances CEO Kevin Nolan gave. He said he was at a conference and a CEO from another state said, "We can't build things in America anymore." And Kevin looked back at him and said, "Well, you should come to Kentucky and see how we're doing it." That is a great ambassador for the Commonwealth. Congratulations to GE Appliances. There was another exciting project we got to celebrate yesterday in Louisville. The second was a ribbon cutting on a new 7,000 square foot facility for Wicked Technologies. Wicked solves the problems we don't always talk about. First with their bed sheets, and now with their new product, Wicked is keeping their momentum going. They're helping people not just in Kentucky, but around the world. Allie, the leader of Wicked, plays an important role in Kentucky's startup scene and is a great example of taking an idea and turning it into a reality. She started her career as a child therapist before taking a risk. She bet on herself, and she is very successful. In Kentucky, we work hand in hand with businesses like Wicked because we understand that while we love these big announcements with 100 or 200 new jobs, most of the new jobs created in Kentucky every year are created by small businesses. And so these jobs at Wicked are so important. Congratulations to Allie and the entire Wicked team. Okay, Kentucky, we've got more great news on our progress to provide safe medical cannabis to eligible Kentuckians. On January 1st, 2025, medical cannabis was made legal in Kentucky. And in just a little over a year, I'm proud to say we've launched every step of the process. From the cultivators, those are the folks that grow, to the processors, safety compliance facilities, and the dispensaries, we're making progress on all of them. Today, Kentucky cut the ribbon on the Blue Stage Dispensary in Nicholasville. And tomorrow, New Era Dispensary will open right here in Frankfort. Folks suffering from serious medical conditions like PTSD, cancer, multiple sclerosis, and more now have a safe alternative that can deliver relief. We currently have 3 dispensaries open with today's ribbon cutting, which will increase to 5 tomorrow. Also approved to operate, it'll increase to 4 tomorrow. 3 open as of today, 1 more opening tomorrow. Also approved to operate are 5 cultivators, 2 safety compliance facilities, 2 more dispensaries that are preparing to open, 9 licensees actively undergoing inspection. We also have more than 28,000 electronic certifications, 18,000 approved cardholders, and more than 510 registered practitioners. Our work is giving folks an opportunity at a better life with less pain and suffering. Okay, after a weekend of severe winter weather, we're continuing to work to clear roads, restore power, and help Kentuckians in need. While the snow and ice moved out of the state Monday, dangerously cold temperatures followed, and they will continue through the days ahead. And on Friday, we're expecting to receive more snow. It should be light accumulation, about 1 inch or less, but with the cold temperatures, it could prove problematic. Wind chills will be 5 below to 15 below Friday night into Saturday morning, so those cold temperatures continue to be dangerous. We need everyone to remain alert, but when it warms up during the day, when that sun comes out, definitely get outside, but be careful, bundle up. Watch out for ice. I know everybody has been cooped up. We are going to have times during the day that it'll be okay to get outside and see the sun a little bit. We're still reporting 11 confirmed deaths, but our team is investigating the possibility of more. Last night, we confirmed the passing of a 55-year-old man in Livingston County. That was the 11th death. We're praying for all the families that have been impacted by this storm. Power outages. This is good news today. We're down to, I think now just under 6,000 outages. It was 6,080, but I think we have cut another 100 plus off of that. That's down from 73,590 at the height of outages on Sunday. That means 91% of all the connections have been restored for power. We still have 11,029 connections on boil water advisories. We have 530 Kentucky connections without water. 3 wastewater systems are under limited operations. The 2 hardest hit areas for power are Tri-County. We've got 364 linemen and women out there working. I think there's about 2,843 connections in that area that don't have power. The other one is South KY, 325 linemen and women working in the area, 2,815 customer outages. So if you add those up, I mean, that's a significant portion of the remaining folks that don't have power. Last night, over 893 people were in our warming centers across the state, including 86 at a Red Cross shelter. We still have 111 warming centers set up across the Commonwealth. We've lost too many people to hypothermia. We may have lost people to trying to heat their home in a way that's not safe. These warming centers are out there. We want to encourage people to go to them. Make sure you're safe over the coming days. There is one that is close to you. The site is linked across my social for those in need. It's also at kyem.ky.gov. To date, the Kentucky State Police has received 11,864 calls for service. They've conducted 513 wellness checks and responded to 713 requests for motorist assistance. State police continue to encourage Kentuckians to call 911 only in emergencies. KYEM has conducted 356 rapid needs assessments from the calls that they've received. Their number for unmet needs is on the screen, 502-607-6665. Now for our roadways, which were seriously impacted from the ice and snow accumulation across the state. State highway crews remain on duty, especially in the hardest hit areas. They are along the western Kentucky and Bluegrass parkways. They're at areas that have received more ice than snow, like Todd, Christian, and Muhlenberg counties. They still have some primary routes packed with ice. Grader and plow work continues there and on secondary routes in the regions to break up ice and the hardest of packed snow. Grader operations are also taking place in Fayette County, including Georgetown Road, Harrodsburg Road, the inner loop of New Circle Road near Old Frankfort Pike, and Winchester Road, and on I-64 in Clark County. That area got pretty icy. Crews made progress yesterday on secondary back roads with the remaining snow cover in many western and central Kentucky counties yesterday, and expect to make more progress today. To give you an idea of how much work they've done, since Friday, state and contracted plow crews have tracked 793,000 miles of plowing. And again, I said it the other day, before anyone says we don't have that much roadway in Kentucky, they're doing roads multiple times. That's just how many miles they have been out there working and working and working on the roads. That's enough miles to circle the earth more than 31 times. They've been working pretty hard. Current traffic closures, this was as of about an hour ago, include I-64 East in Shelby County at mile marker 39. All lanes were blocked due to a commercial vehicle tanker overturning. The spill's contained. There's a detour via exit 35. KY 1156 in Madison County had lanes blocked due to ice near the intersection with Kentucky 169. Kentucky 15 in Letcher County at mile marker 2.6 has all lanes blocked due to a water main break. US 45 at mile marker 9.3 has a water main break. Some traffic restrictions are in place at the US 45, US 62, KY 731, the intersection of all those roads. In Ashland, a water break has US 23 reduced to one lane in each direction. So we're going to continue to have some challenges on the road that are from the original storm, some due to conditions like the cold when there's a water main break. So everybody, when you're out, just go slow. Next up, we have some great updates from around the state on our long-term disaster recovery efforts. As we continue to recover from the snow and ice this week, we need to remember that we've gotten knocked down before, but we always get back up. Let's start in Floyd County, which was flooded in 2021, 2022, and last year too. In 2022, after the floods, I stopped by the Floyd County Community Center. I shot basketball with the kids there. The building was used as a staging ground for relief efforts, a place where first responders rallied and where people sheltered. This building saved a lot of lives. Using a $750,000 grant from Team Kentucky, they've now made some significant improvements there. Now the center is reopened after renovations, and at the community center, Floyd County is hosting after-school programs that offer free Wi-Fi for kids. They're restarting a basketball and a volleyball league, and they're hosting Narcotics Anonymous meetings, helping those battling addiction. I got a lot of memories from this community center. I was happy we could support these upgrades. We have a quick video from Judge Executive Robbie Williams on this project.
Good morning. This is Floyd County Judge Executive Robbie Williams. I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to Governor Beshear and his team. We recently received funding through a CDBG grant to refurbish our community center here in Martin, Kentucky. That center is used extensively by our youth leagues and various programs that we have established there at the community center. But we do want to thank you and your team for everything that you do to help us, and keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thanks to Judge Williams. Also in Floyd County, thanks to his and others' work, we're seeing great progress at New Hope Estates in Prestonsburg. This is one of our 8 high-ground communities in eastern Kentucky. Eventually, the neighborhood will be the site of 34 homes. Team Kentucky is providing $12 million to help with this project. We broke ground last July on the 3-year anniversary of the floods. And now, less than a year later, we have 4 homes under construction. All 4 homes already have buyers. And we expect to close on 2 of the homes within a couple weeks. This is some drone footage that you see next to me of the progress of the site. I can't wait to visit it again. In Breathitt County, the city of Jackson is in the process of building 2 homes right off Highland Avenue. This is part of a project to build 8 homes for flood survivors in town with the support of $2.3 million in disaster recovery funds. And the groundwork is underway at the Top Cat High Ground neighborhood site, which we visited. This will eventually be the site of 17 homes for flood survivors. We're supporting this project with $6 million. By the end, it's gonna have a really unique look with the houses almost terraced going up the hill. In Letcher County, we announced last year we were using $4.5 million to turn the old Fleming Neon High School into 18 affordable apartments. The Trump administration paused certain parts of the Section 8 vouchers that we were using for that project, which caused some delays. We've worked with the developer on modifying their application, and now they're moving forward with the project. We're not letting anything get in our way when it comes to creating more housing options for our people, especially in areas that have experienced natural disasters. In Perry County, we're moving forward with the Skyview High Ground neighborhood. We have 5 homes completed or occupied. 4 more homes will be move-in ready within the next month. In total, 29 homes are now under construction, and all are moving forward. We'll make sure that we put some of the aerial photos of this. I think we've got one coming up out there. It is spectacular in what this new neighborhood and community is going to look like. Next up, we got Chestnut Ridge in Knott County, where we're nearing completion of the road work in the western portion of the property. We expect this to be finished by the spring. We have 4 homes under roof on our portion of the property, and once we complete the road work, we're moving forward with 4 more. On the eastern portion, we've begun road work, and we expect to be complete this year. At Chestnut Ridge, we're planning 175 homes in total. Some of these will have multifamily units. We want our people to have options. In the West, you all heard me brag about making the largest single housing announcement in our history. We're building more than 900 affordable apartments across 4 counties in western Kentucky, and construction has started on several of these developments. We're supporting this work with over $223 million that are going to help create more than 900 new units. These units are going to Dawson Springs, Mayfield, and Bowling Green, to name a few. We've also got good news for Bowling Green. Using $900,000 in disaster recovery funds from Team Kentucky, the city of Bowling Green partnered with Habitat for Humanity to build 6 homes for tornado survivors. All 6 homes are nearly complete. Each of the homes already have qualified buyers. We expect the families to move in March. We have a video from Habitat for Humanity's Bowling Green director, Rod Goodman.
My name is Rodney Goodman, Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity in Bowling Green, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to share the impact of an incredible partnership. Together with Team Kentucky and the City of Bowling Green, using CDBG-DR funds, we're building 6 new homes for local families. 2 are nearly complete and 4 close behind, and we expect home buyers to begin moving in by late March. Partnerships like this don't just rebuild homes. They restore stability, hope, and opportunity. Thank you for investing in affordable home ownership and in the future of our community.
Team Kentucky is now being used as a national model on how to use federal dollars for major housing projects. In fact, some of our team members will be presenting at an upcoming national conference on multifamily housing projects. Members of my administration have also met with other disaster-impacted states to help guide them on their own efforts. After you get hit with a natural disaster, a lot of federal funds come your way. For Kentucky, it was about $400 million for the tornadoes and the floods of 21 and 22. That can be overwhelming, but our team has used those funds to build over 1,000 homes and apartments across our state. That was in combination with dollars that we raised from the Team Kentucky Emergency Relief Fund and through partnerships with the Kentucky Housing Corporation and more. From our high ground communities in the east to those apartments in the west, I'm so proud of the work we're doing to house our people. All right, next, with last week's winter storm and extremely cold temperatures expected to last for several more days, we're seeing peak demand on our energy resources and on our wallets. Many households may feel the strain of higher utility bills. Lowering those costs go hand in hand with conserving energy, and small changes can make a real difference for everyone. Our Energy and Environment Cabinet shared some tips to help you save on your utility bill. Heating is usually the biggest winter expense, so setting the thermostat a few degrees lower, especially at night or when no one is home, can significantly reduce energy use without sacrificing comfort. Be mindful that everyday energy use adds up. Turning the lights off when not needed, unplugging unused electronics, and running appliances efficiently all contribute to savings over time. Regular maintenance of heating systems also helps ensure they run efficiently. Sealing and insulation matter. Drafty windows, doors, and poorly insulated spaces allow heat to escape, forcing your heating system to work harder. Simple steps like weather striping, closing unused rooms, or using curtains or other coverings like storm windows to trap heat can reduce heat loss and lower bills. Levelized billing or budget billing is a program that provides a predictable monthly bill, smoothing out seasonal highs and lows. It prevents bill shock during peak heating or cooling seasons. Make sure you check and replace central heating filters regularly. Dirty filters reduce airflow. That'll drive up your bill. And lastly, use your ceiling fan. We're used to using ceiling fans in the summer, but they can also be used during the winter to keep warm air circulating. To do this, reverse the motor so it rotates clockwise at low speed. The ceiling fan won't change the temperature in the room, but it'll help warm everything up. By making thoughtful choices, we can stay warm, cut costs, and use energy more responsibly through the season. All right, since I took office, we've taken some great steps forward in fighting addiction and building a safer New Kentucky home. Together, we've increased access to treatment resources in every corner of our state, which is why we've been able to reduce overdose deaths in the Commonwealth for 3 straight years. An important piece is the efforts of law enforcement who work every day to get dangerous drugs off our streets. That's why I'm proud to share an update on the great progress of our Kentucky State Police and its efforts to help us continue reducing overdose deaths. In 2025, the Kentucky State Police made 5,141 drug-related arrests, holding accountable those who are selling dangerous drugs. The state police also removed more than $18.9 million worth of drugs off our streets last year. That included $277,000 worth of fentanyl, over $2.1 million worth of cocaine, and nearly $4.4 million worth of methamphetamine. The Kentucky State Police is helping support our fight against addiction in the Commonwealth, and its work extends beyond seizing drugs and making arrests. The Angel Initiative is a program operated by KSP that helps those that are struggling with addiction and gives them a way to connect to recovery resources with no questions asked. Last year, the agency was able to help 15 Kentuckians through the program. I encourage anyone who's out there struggling, you can visit your KSP post and you can get help. I'll continue to do everything in my power to fight addiction in every way I can. It's why I took steps to ban designer Xanax and dangerous forms of kratom last year, so fewer families have that pain of losing someone they love to an overdose. If you or a loved one is fighting addiction, no, you're not alone. 35 counties are now certified as recovery-ready communities. That covers 1.9 million Kentuckians. That means people are trained and ready. They have the state-of-the-art techniques. They want to help you. So I know it might feel like you're alone, but people care about you, you're loved, and we are ready to help you. To find resources, you can call the Kentucky Help Hotline at 833-8KY-HELP or visit findhelpnowky.org. Finally, our Team Kentucky All-Stars this week are the folks helping us clear our roadways and keep our people safe. We experienced 36 hours of snow, ice, sleet, combined with dangerously cold temperatures. But KYTC was out the Thursday before it hit, beginning to pre-treat roadways and has kept it up ever since. Our team prepared a stockpile of 311,000 tons of salt and over 1 million gallons of brine for anti-icing efforts. We had 1,500 KYTC trucks on the roadway, maintaining the 28,000 miles of roadway across Kentucky. We also had 12 heavy-duty wreckers that were contracted in advance. This was an extra step we took and we pre-positioned them around the Commonwealth. And we had one large commercial vehicle that went off the road, and we were able to get that fixed and to get the road operational again faster than I think we ever have in the past. These are Kentuckians who spent time away from their families during the storm to protect our families. They risked their safety to keep us safe. We are grateful for their work, and we ask that you go slow and that you give them a wide berth. We had an accident involving one of our contracted snowplow drivers. They were life-flighted to the hospital for care, and we are praying for their full recovery. I haven't received an update yet on how they're doing. But our Team Kentucky All-Stars are everybody who've done such a great job on our state routes and throughout all of our neighborhoods. Okay, with that, we have 6 total journalists today, 3 here in studio and 3 virtual. We'll start with Karen.
Governor, Mayor Borton said that I guess some state transportation vehicles were able to assist in Fayette County. Is that the case, and how many counties are they able to help in outside of the major roads? And if things get bad again, will they have to go back?
So the state of emergency that I filed had enough flexibility where starting, I believe it was yesterday, we were able to send extra snowplows and grinders to Kentucky, to Lexington. I think they started at New Circle, but as you heard today, they're working on a lot of others. I believe they're there throughout the full day today, and that we have the resources to continue to help in Lexington. They are also working in specific areas that got hit hardest. Certainly the Allen, Barron County area with all the ice that they got. But I'm really proud, especially of our state group. The interstates were in good shape, but we did get a little lucky. The way the sun came out for 2 straight days got the temperature of the roadways warm enough, even though the regular temperature out there wasn't, for our salt and brine to be effective. Isaiah.
Thank you, Governor. I had a question regarding Senate Bill 1. It was heard in committee. That's the power structure JCPS bill. It actually passed through a Senate committee today. One senator called it academic genocide, what's happening in JCPS with some of the performance scores, specifically the schools. The own superintendent was there today saying, don't shift the power to me like that. We want to keep going the way things are. Let me improve this district. He's fairly new. What's your take on sort of this power structure bill and the efforts that are happening?
So my belief is that decades ago, we made a decision that we should have local control with our school boards that should guide our education efforts in our communities. I believe the best solutions for Jefferson County, which faces challenges that no other county except maybe Fayette face with its size, the best solutions are going to come from within that county. We shouldn't have a state legislature that only legislates for one county out there, even if it's coming from right intentions of wanting to make sure that everyone gets the best education. But how about this? How about they actually fund pre-K? Because a lot of those students that are coming into JCPS are behind before they ever step through the doors. Pre-K for all would catch them up, would make sure that everyone walks into kindergarten better, ready to go. And all of the studies from, listen, even the Republican-led states like Alabama and Georgia show the major impact this can have. How about they raise teacher salaries so we can make sure we're getting the very best in the classroom? How about they better fund transportation that are out there? You know, the difference between my proposed budget and the House's proposed budget in terms of SEEK is almost $500 million. So if the legislature continues to shorten public education, then yes, you're going to find challenges and concerns in it. But I am really grateful for the leadership of the superintendent there, but also the school board. I think they're working together, and we want to make sure that we constantly have improvement. But it's not going to happen through a debate and constantly passing laws from House members and Senate members that aren't from Louisville. Their kids never went through that school system, and they haven't seen it firsthand. Lee.
Yes, Governor. I have a couple of questions. The first one, given all the warnings about staying inside during this very dangerous winter weather where people have died from frigid temperatures, how concerned are you that an inmate at the Eastern Kentucky Correctional Complex died while removing snow and ice from the prison around 1 in the morning, and according to the coroner, he fell off a 40-foot embankment.
Yeah, I'm concerned anytime we lose someone that's in state custody in one of our corrections institutions or outside of it. KSP has an investigation. There's going to be a full review and evaluation from the Justice Cabinet. I don't know any of the facts firsthand, but what I want to make sure is that the full truth comes out and that we're fully transparent. Decisions made, good or bad, they deserve to be seen by that family and by everyone else.
The other question I have you heard about a woman who died in Lexington, and do you know if her death is weather-related?
If that's the one that I've been told about, I believe that the Fayette County coroner has ruled it non-weather related. But I was just told about that a little bit ago. DPH has their own system that doesn't always go through the coroners, but if a county coroner rules something is not related to weather, DPH typically wouldn't change that designation. All right, we got Tom Latek on the line. It's good that Tom is rejoining us.
Oh, thank you, Governor, and good afternoon to you. For the folks that have suffered losses due to the winter storm, what is the best way for them to begin the process to apply for benefits, either from FEMA or whomever is offering it?
So we haven't been approved yet for either individual or state and local assistance from FEMA, but we have submitted the first set of paperwork, at least for the state and local assistance. And with the snowstorm, that's typically what you see. What I'd encourage people right now is to review your insurance information. Review your homeowner's insurance. Review your automobile insurance if you have issues there. We will see what we can apply for. I believe certainly on the assistance to cities, counties, and the state, which have very significant expenses in something like this, we will get a favorable ruling. The Trump administration and Secretary Noem have all indicated to us that they understand how massive of a storm that this was. Curtis Tate.
Hi, Governor. Thank you. This week we learned that Century Aluminum decided to invest in a facility in Oklahoma instead of building an aluminum smelter in northeastern Kentucky. That had been touted as the preferred site for that facility. And one of the reasons we think is because Oklahoma has cleaner, cheaper electricity. So just wondering, what could Kentucky do differently to avoid missing out on those kinds of opportunities?
Yeah, economic development is an area where you win some, you lose some, and we've won more these last 6 years than ever before in our history. The last 5 years, we've been top 5 in economic development per capita every single year. That means better than 45 other states. We've had our first, second, third, and fifth best years in the last 5 years, and so we've won a whole lot more than we've lost. Nobody worked harder to get that Century Aluminum plant in Kentucky than me. I went up to D.C. 4 or 5 times to lobby for an award, a grant. It was $500 million to Century. Now, in their application, it said it was coming to Kentucky. And the Biden administration, when they were in charge, said if you have an application that says it's coming to Kentucky and you get points on the application that gets you the award saying you're going to send it to Kentucky, it has to go there. I don't know if the Trump administration has changed that since or if they're foregoing it. I would certainly have concerns of applying for something being in one place and then getting to take the money to another. We do need to continue to diversify our sources of energy production. Listen, companies that come always want the following in their energy. They want it to be affordable, reliable, and sustainable. And really in that order. They've got to hit the right price point to make sure that they can make a profit creating and selling their product. The lights always have to come on, but all of them want a more sustainable energy portfolio because their downstream customers want that too. Where they're exporting it to might require that. And so we need to continue. Now, I think there's been some major strides. Eastern Kentucky Power got a $1 billion grant from the federal government and are diversifying right now. They've got some really neat small hydro projects that we are testing out. You look at nuclear and projects that I believe are coming to Western Kentucky, which are exciting. So, in the future, we do need to do that. Now, in any type of major project like this, whether it's Century Aluminum or a data center, one of my red lines is our families can't bear the brunt of the energy demands from any of these companies. I will not agree to a deal that's going to raise already high utility rates on our families. And so I don't know what deal they got in Oklahoma, but whether it's data centers or others, we are only going to agree when it doesn't have an impact on our families. And finally, I believe it's Raina Katko.
Good afternoon, Governor. So Kentucky House Republicans released their version of the state budget on Tuesday. What are your thoughts on the major themes of spending cuts in their bill and the fact that funding for your pre-K program wasn't included?
Well, I think it's pretty sad that they'll put politics over 4-year-olds in Kentucky. If pre-K for all doesn't make it in, that means at least for the next 2 years, 4-year-olds in Kentucky miss out. Think about all the other states, Democrat and Republican, who have this program. It means they're giving their kids a better start than we are. Half of Kentucky's kids aren't prepared for kindergarten. They don't know as many vocabulary words. Some don't know their colors. I talked to a kindergarten teacher that got 5 kids on their first day that weren't potty trained. Yet that kindergarten teacher is supposed to produce results. The other thing is that the current House budget, and they said they're going to change it, and I'll take them at their word, just doesn't show the same priorities as the people of Kentucky. The people of Kentucky understand the American dream starts with a job, but we don't have, at least in this version, any of the programs that we've used in the past that have been so important to secure new jobs. They don't have funding for site development. It's been critical. They don't have a closing fund. It's been critical. They don't have the Rural Economic Development Fund that we had in. All those need to make it in a final budget, and maybe it's coming in a different bill. They don't prioritize education, not pre-K, cuts to higher ed, which experienced so many cuts in tougher times, and about $500 million less for K through 12 than I had in my budget. Public safety, they don't have money in for a very important, and I get it's very expensive project for the Kentucky State Police that would make sure their radios can work in every single part of Kentucky. If they don't, then we're less safe. And then in healthcare, their budget would be the final nail in the coffin for so many of our rural hospitals. Think about what our rural hospitals are going through. The big, ugly bill's cutting about $1 trillion nationwide. 35 Kentucky rural hospitals are at least faced with possible closure. Then Congress refuses to extend the ACA subsidies. More people lose coverage that is even a better reimburser to those same hospitals. And now this budget, I think, would cut $100+ million in Medicaid compared to my budget in the first year, and $600+ in the second year. Those are dollars that our rural hospitals, at least certain practice areas, do not survive without. The people of Kentucky aren't asking for a lot. They want a good job. They want to be able to see a doctor when they're sick. They want to drop their kids off at a good school. They want to feel safe in their communities, and they want safe roads and bridges they drive on. The House budget doesn't deliver that yet. I hope they'll step up, make the changes, and better serve the people of the Commonwealth. Thanks for that final question. That's a good one to close out on. We'll see you next week.